You want to tell me your name?
Johnny Martellio.
You want to tell me your situation, where it is right now?
I'm homeless and staying in the Alaskan, thanks to Linda Hand.
What brought about the situation?
My husband had a stroke. I had to quit my job to take care of him. We ended up being evicted from our home because of that, and I'm diligently looking for another job. But when you're 57 years old, that's not easy.
How long has it taken from the time your husband had your stroke to being homeless? What is that time period?
It's been about 9 months.
And in that 9 months, were you able to find resources within the community? Was there...
I found food stamps, the food pantry, Lend a Hand. Lend a Hand's been the biggest resource because they've kept my husband supplied with his medication, and he takes quite a few life-saving medications. And they've, been taking care of us.
But beyond that, for like housing and rental assistance, because I know with your situation, it was because of rent. You couldn't pay your rent.
Right. Well, with the rental situation, because we don't have small children, dependent children, there's really, the resources aren't there unless I found one that as soon as I can find a job, they will help us get into a place.
What about family and friends for you? Have they been able to?
My family, my mother has helped me on a monthly basis since this has happened. And my niece by marriage has been there, has kept us in things like toilet paper, dish soap, body soap, laundry, that kind of stuff. Plus food when it was absolutely necessary.
Right. Now, being homeless, is this the first time you've ever been homeless?
Oh, absolutely. I never dreamed in my life that I always thought homeless people were drug addicts or alcoholics or bums until this happened to us. And it's like I feel if it can happen to us, it can happen to anybody. Kept it weight, and all of a sudden he has a stroke.
You had no health insurance at the time.
We had no health insurance. No, my job didn't offer that.
And no young children in the house, so you can get on the programs that would help.
Now, I did, when I contacted Badger Care, they told me there was a 2-year waiting list. And, of course, you sign up for it, but 2 years, it's a long time,
Right.
A lot can happen in those 2 years.
Right.
And the hospital was really good because he had to spend a week in the hospital to begin with. But the hospital stay, all his visits to the emergency room and things like that, his physical therapy, the cost of that has all been picked up by the hospital.
That's good.
So we don't owe anything like that.
But you didn't know that right away.
No,
right.
we didn't. I didn't know that until the day he was being released. The business office came down, and all we had to do was give him our tax forms from the year before. And then I got worried because physical therapy was 3 times a week. I'm like, how are you going to pay for that?
Right.
Well, because it's inside the hospital, it's part of the hospital picked it up.
So does that mean you have to stay here close to the hospital for that reason?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. 3 times a week, that's a lot,
Right.
In fact, part of the winter, living way out there in the woods, he didn't get to go to therapy.
Right.
If it wasn't the weather, there was no gas, in the car. My mother tried. She would give me $10.
What has this done to you spirit-wise? How is this?
I'm a different person. I'm very humble. There was a time when I wouldn't ask anybody for anything. I still find it hard. I do it. It's embarrassing. Extremely embarrassing. You don't even want to tell somebody you're homeless because of the stigma attached to it and what other people think about people that are homeless. Just like I used to think. Understanding. I mean, I made so many phone calls in the beginning. Well, you don't qualify for that, you don't have children. You don't qualify for this because I never thought I would hear in my life, this is for low income, not no income. Well, how much lower can it go, you know? Just don't ever think that it can't happen to you. I never dreamed in my life that we would be, especially at our age, in a situation like this. And when it does, if it does happen to you, reach out, because I didn't in the beginning. And that made it harder on us, you know, emotionally. I didn't realize there was anybody to reach out to. And if I hadn't have called your number, I never would have known. I have more hope than I had a few months ago. I'm crying now, I guess, because I'm talking about it. Before I sat around and cried constantly. I don't do that anymore. I smile again, I laugh again, so does he. But it's hard. It's hard on a person.
If there's one thing you could tell people out there, what would it be? What do you think you needed the most throughout this? What was the one thing you really needed? Support. More, but...
You did more than I would have ever expected from anyone.
Do you have faith in tomorrow's? Are you able to...
Yep. Like I say, a few months ago I didn't have it.
Right.
I thought it was just, our life was over.
Right.
But it's going to get better. I know it'll get better. I know it will get better.
It will.
I know it will.